programming our people to not see the worth in themselves. This community will not allow you to see the worth. They will not let you see the worth. They will not add value to you. It's all about taking, it has this community not become the place where they take away the value from you? That's the purpose, the underlying purpose of people's interaction is to remove value from each other, right? Because when you're on camera, mudslinging, breaking each other down, going all the way under the belt, going personal, doing all, dragging people through the mud, all of these things, spreading rumors, spreading viruses, being malcontent in your diatribe, besmirching people's character. You're fucking up their stocks. You're trying to tank their worth. You're trying to crash their stocks. You're trying to besmirch their value. You're trying to destroy their legacy. That's what this whole community has morphed into. That's what this shit represents right now. So they have these celebrations when they see people on the motherfucking cross. You dig what I'm saying? This nigga's out here rooting against Dr. Umar and what he might be going through.
Peace and Black Power, welcome to another edition of BABATV. Every time Firehouse of Consciousness, back here upon the base here in Harlem. And I can't be back here on the base without being on the base with one of the main foundations from the beginning of BABATV, and that's my big brother Red Pill, and it's always my privilege to be in his company. Red, first we're gonna start off with Donald Trump and all these tax cuts. Everything getting ready to get cut. Social programs, food stamps, like you were saying, if you think you see people sleeping on the subway and things today, now what's gonna happen in a minute? Talk to the people, brother.
Alright, hold up for me. Man, oh man, peace. Today is December the 22nd, right? Copy. Well, mark this day on your calendars because this is the day that everything changes. This is the day that life as you know it changes. The matrix upgrades and goes to 6.0. This is the day that the $1 trillion tax bill cut. They call it the tax bill scam. That's the name of it. The tax bill scam. This is the day that it was signed by Donald Trump in the Oval Office before he went to vacation in Mar-a-Lago. All right, so they're gutting everything in the name of, you know, highway robbery. Okay, so they are cutting multiple programs. Obamacare, as you know it, is going to be cut. Housing, all kind of things. You know what I mean? These things are going to be permanently removed, as if it wasn't already tight. As if it wasn't already a drought, as if it wasn't already, you know what I mean, a burden on people that are living in regentrified cities all around America. So the idea and the idea and what the GOP and what you know as the right wing, or what you know as the conservatives, or what you know as the evangelicals, or what you know as the neo theology Christians, white Christian extremists, right? Like there's black identity extremists. Well, the Christian right, white identity extremists. These are the people who are behind what just took place, and their aim is to put people of color in permanent, mind you, key word, permanent fourth class citizenship. No, permanent underclass fourth or fifth class citizenship, meaning that in the United States of America you are now officially on the path or on the highway to become a permanent underclass based on what was just done while you was listening to Barty, okay? You know what I'm saying? While you were sitting around talking about everything else. But it's not like we had, or the people per se had any final say in the matter, because it was voted on by people who were majority. It's a majority Congress, majority Senate. They were already poised to do what they had to do. They were already poised to fulfill the destiny. It's not of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is only the person signing a check. Like you said before, when Barack Obama was the president, that he's only the president of McDonald's, he's only the executive, it's bigger than him. There's other things taking place behind the scenes. If you pay attention, there's no more people of color inside of the White House. They just got rid of the bed wench. So the majority of the White House is being run by army generals, aka prison complex industry, aka deep state, aka all of these other shadow governments, big corporation, big pharma, big military, big data, right? Silicon Valley, everybody in bed together. Have we not been talking about this since we began talking about this? So, you know, that's what we see taking place. These are the people who are behind making changing the reality, not in theory, not talking tough, actually doing it in legislation with the stroke of a pen. Taking you from everyday struggle, to everyday bubble, burst, bust, sinking nigga ship. Because like I said, if you thought you saw homeless people before, oh man, just wait till, if you thought that you couldn't ride a train ride without 4 people coming on in separate times asking you for something to eat or $1, oh man, you got something coming to you. If you thought that people were being pushed out of their communities before through gentrification or overpriced rents or the fact that they couldn't afford health care and all of these other things, do your research. And I'm not here fear-mongering, I'm just giving you the real, because they're going to try to put lipstick on a pig when a talking head spin it, right? When a talking head spin it, they're going to come at you from a place of fear. They're going to come at you from a place of having you feel depressed. They're going to come at you from a place of putting more worry on people, and stress kills. So they're going to raise the mortality rate, and they're also going to raise the amount of people who have to get medicated, in which they'll put them on opiates, in which to raise up the numbers of the opiate epidemic that's already gripping America. Facts. So the opium epidemic is due to anxiety and depression and things of that nature. Remember, research and studies have shown that it's the heart that controls the body. The heart sends the signals to the brain, and we thought that the brain was sending signals to the heart, which would make the body. No, it goes the other way around. So anything that's heavy on the heart, anything that has you in a state of worry, anything that has you in a perpetual state of fear, anything that has you in a perpetual state of hate, if they have you hating somebody or hating on other people, or you identify as a victim who's being hated on by somebody else, that is weighing your heart down. That is the reason, and when that happens, that's when you're dealing with people that are depressed. They're having anxiety, they're having depression. Henceforth, that's why you see the rise in the opiate abuse. Henceforth, that's why you see the rise in people self-medicating themselves. Henceforth, that's why you see the rise in marijuana in states where the shit is legal. They're having surpluses, and people are on the edge. They're weighing their hearts down. Fear of a black and more messiah. It's a psyop. So that's what they got. They keep giving you trauma. They keep giving you police shootings. They keep giving you black people catching L's. You catching more L's than LL. Okay? Like, they have your heart getting heavy. They showing people get locked up. Young girls getting beat up. Police cam where they shooting innocent people. White man on the floor crying, shooting them up. Where's that weighing your heart on? It's not your brain, it's on your heart. And then your heart tells your brains to be in fear. Your heart tells your brain to be depressed. Your heart tells your brain to be in anxiety. And that's what we see society these days. And when they do certain things like this, remember, we're talking about people who actually drink your tears. They get stronger off of your pain. It's a form of Luciferianism, where off of your suffrage and off of your pain and off of destruction, they get stronger. Go and do the research on that. Bobby Hemmett talked about that. He put out an excellent book dealing with the Luciferians. So that's what we're dealing with. These are people, go and research Ayn Rand. This is the Ayn Rand, it's Ayn Rand, right? That has Atlas Shrugged. This is her mind state. She's a philosopher who has programmed a whole race, a whole contingency of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, Jews, coons, black people. It doesn't matter the race. She has a philosophy. She's a master teacher, the same way that we got Valentine, Elijah, Malcolm, Bobby Hemmett, all of these thought leaders who have turned the lights on for our people, where they got their own thought leaders. It's this Atlas Shrugged mentality that let the poor suffer. It's almost illegal to be poor now. They're making poverty a crime.
You got pain.
Hunger Games. You niggas are gonna have to fight to eat. You understand? It's not even about may the strongest person win at this point. May the nigga with the most chips win. All right? May the nigga with the most chips win. And then on top of that, the people who are going to get nervous are the people who are considered not ready to go into the future. They're not prepared for the jump. They're analog, not digital. The people that may be digital may be people who have something like cryptocurrency, meaning that you figured it out that how the hell could you, if you had $1 and a year later you still had that same dollar and that shit didn't gain any value, it actually lost value, versus if I had $1 and then 10 years later that dollar is $10,000 or $18,000, because keep in mind, you could have bought a Bitcoin for $1 when the shit first came out, right? So if I was sitting on a Bitcoin for 10 years and that $1 is now worth $18 or $16,000, it actually gained in value versus the fiat that you niggas got in your bed, under your mattress, in your shoebox, in your pocket. It gained no value. It actually began to lose value. Who the fuck is the dummy in this equation? I gave you two scenarios. You could have money if you had $80,000 or $10,000 and you put that into cryptocurrency 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 1 year ago, and now that same investment has tripled, not even tripled, it grew almost 300%? Let's talk about that. That's the future of money. That's the future of what you're supposed to be doing with your finances and whatnot if you want to be a part of the future, if you want to successfully make it in the jump. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why we're into the cryptocurrency. I know somebody will be like, oh, but Bitcoin fell the other day. I didn't say only Bitcoin. You can have your own coin. There's Litecoin, Ethereum. It's the program, it's the blockchain, it's the technology, not the brand. People are so brand minded. Bitcoin is the brand. Cryptocurrency is the formula, it's the science. That's what you're dealing with. You feel me? It's not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an offshoot of cryptocurrency and the blockchain. Where's the conscious community coin? We talked about cryptocurrency in 2014 when we were giving you the future, when we were giving you a vision of where we're at today. That's our job. That's what we come to do. You feel me? Successfully. Consistency. It's all about consistency. Like this, you're seeing with the brother, I seen a video today with Charlemagne the God. Respect consistency. Respect people who keep doing what they say they're gonna do. Respect people who keep making moments in history for the culture. You understand? Like a Joe Button. Give him the bag that he deserves. Give him his coins. So you need to start requesting it to receive payments in the cryptocurrency. It don't gotta be a Bitcoin, but I just showed you that there's a new formula in town. The one that you were using, you could be shaking your ass every night on some, you know what I mean? And you got mad singles in the stash. And you running around buying Gucci bags and lace fronts and boots and everything every other day. And you're not investing it in anything that's growing or maturing. Who's the fool? And then when they cut all of this shit and they dry up all of the money and the dollar crash, what the fuck then? You sacrifice your butthole, your mouth, and everything every night for these goddamn pieces of paper that are only toilet paper in the future. Start moving. Stop playing games and you're being scared because your heart is heavy. They're weighing you down. You don't know how to think straight. You're following trends. You're following a program that was written many, many moons ago. Look, this program that's running the streets right now, my nigga, For anybody who belonged to the generation that I belong to, that program was written in the tunnel era. Okay? In the late 90s, 93, not the late 90s, the early 90s, this is the same program looping itself over and over again. Money, clothes, and hoes, all the way down to the Gucci gang. We did this before. I remember this story in 93. This is the tunnel era. From the music that you're listening to, all of the girls trying to walk around being they looking like Little Kim and Foxy. The hoes are winning. They out there doing that. Everybody's running around still wearing Gucci, running behind the tags and the labels. Louis, Fendi, Gucci. This Moschino, Iceberg. Nigga, we started that. What are you talking about? We are the progenitors of that. We the pioneers of that. I was there. If you were not, I don't care where you from. You could be from Mars. You could be from Paris. You could be from the hood, wherever you from. It started in New York, in the city, in the mid '90s, and that's a fact. And then that culture has inspired all around the globe. Shit started in New York. Not to say that hip hop or whatever. I'm talking about a trend that you're seeing right now, where Biggie and them push that shit, Puff and them pushed it. All about the Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins, you know, the shiny suits, the Versace, you understand what I'm saying? The bottles, talking about opulence, talking about materialism. I'm not judging anything I'm giving you, because goddamn it, we was carrying the torch. We was like they say in the Matrix, we was writing the code. We was a part of that. Facts. Do my background, you could run my credit. Do the background check, ask some questions, okay? And the majority of those people right now are in leadership positions in the industry. They come out of that era, so they know what I'm talking about. This is the continuing loop. It haven't really changed. So now it has devolved into trapping. It has devolved into, you know what I mean, money over everything. It has devolved into people with the loss of integrity because they put money in front of everything. It devolved into whatever, you know what I'm saying? It devolved into all kind of stuff. It went from selling crack, now you smoking crack or using it and whatnot. It went from, you know what I'm saying, dudes out here taking money, you know what I mean, to people out here being raped for the money. It devolved into something else. And then it's going to change it to something better. It's an ebb and a flow. So now you got the conscious MCs on the scene. Now you have the Kendricks, you got the J. Coles. You dig what I'm saying? They're balancing some of those scales, but you need more. You need more work. You need more people to come and do more work, because we live in a time where the music is not, well, think about it. Think about what this year personally alone did, how it introduced people to people who they used to look up to and how they started becoming conscious. I'm talking about the legends. I'm talking about the icons. I'm talking about 444. You feel me? I'm talking about T.I.'s album. You feel me? I'm talking about the fact that, you know, there's more people who are of an older, you know, from the hip hop industry, you know, from that generation that I'm talking about, the tunnel era. They're maturing and starting to talk about black excellence, black power, the form of black power in the form of black excellence, and basically, you know, coming together with your bag and becoming owners. There's a conversation about ownership taking place in the industry right now with LeVar Ball. He's finally said, yo, we need to do a league where we pay the rappers, we pay the ball players $10,000 and whatnot. I think every rapper who is a fan of NCAA sports or who is a fan of the sport and they want to see everybody get paid, not just the coaches, not just the school, not just the people who are feeding off of these young talents. It's the same thing that Joe Budden is telling niggas, yo, corporate is feeding off of our talents. They're not paying us. Shit, look at YouTube, feeding off your talents. You know what I mean? So we're seeing a conversation about ownership. Joe Budden is like, yo, I don't need Complex. I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to just broadcast through YouTube. I already got a following, and I'm going to get the bag from somebody black owned. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to get the bag from somebody that respects my work and whatnot. Then you're seeing where Diddy, he wants to acquire and be an owner of the Panthers. Don't get into the politics about who Diddy is. I ain't say nothing. I'm talking about what the synchronicity of the universe is showing you, that this conversation about ownership is the only conversation that we need to be having. That's consciousness. People keep looking for the signs and the symbols in the wrong places. It's taking place everywhere that you look. I could have been living in niggas' houses right now in castles because they would have lost the bet if I would have been like, yo, in 2017, Jay is gonna come out with an album that's considered woke. The whole album. They would have gave their crib and car and everything up. You understand what I'm saying? I'd have had mad bitcoins. But they didn't, nobody knew that. Nobody could necessarily come forward and say that they could have saw that. I saw it. We talked about that years ago on our show. But I'm not just talking about him. I'm talking about the whole hip hop thing. You're seeing a change. The whole cycle is changing. The youth are taking over. The OGs are either falling off or they standing up and they're becoming a little more mature in their conversation and what it is that they represent. And they have a level of consciousness that they did not have 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Like I said, our people want so much from everybody. Just look for the signs. Worry on focus on your own awakening. The more you wake up, the more everybody around you, including these entertainers, wake up. Did they not say that? Work on self, develop self, rise your energy up, and then you'll see how because you live in a quantum world, so you'll see your favorite artists begin to wake up as well as a reverberation. So that's what we're seeing. So the youth is going to be the youth. I'm not going to hold mad, rules over the head of people that are 17 years old. 18 years old. I'm gonna hold the responsibility on 50-year-old women that I see walking around looking like Nicki Minaj. Or trying to look like these teenagers. They got grown men trying to run around looking like the Migos at 50. You the goof. That's the goofy that I'm upset with. Or everybody want to walk around looking like, emulating. You know what I'm saying? But nah, let's keep it a buck. The new generation, they had a lot of challenges. They're introducing a lot of fuck shit, and they're not coming in with the rules and the integrity that's needed in order to respect the culture, uphold the culture, not lose the culture. You feel what I'm saying? Add value to the culture. So the OGs, the elders, the Fabs of the world, the Jadas of the world, the Styles P of the world, even Puff is exemplifying his own level of wokeness. I didn't say consciousness, I said wokeness. You know what I mean? Jay has his level of wokeness. It's almost like a Black Lives Matter wokeness mixed with some other stuff. You know what I mean? So all of these artists, Jeezy is showing his level of growth and consciousness, his evolution, rather than his devolution. These artists are showing growth, and they're showing growth and development in their conversation. They might still be spitting some, what they spit, but it's a process taking place, and I'm enjoying that process. I don't feel threatened by that process. But on the other side of that, you have MCs who are coming up ground up, not attached to no record label, not attached to no contracts, not attached to nobody giving them $2 off of 2 pennies, my 2 cents off of a $20 album. You don't see that. You see people coming independently, like myself and my brother with the Scorpion King album, like my brother Kambada with and Black Magic, who is Brother Rich, with the Holy Ghost album, like my brother A.A. Rashid with the Dog Food album. You feel what I'm saying? $1 million projects, because the numbers are here. So when we're ready to start taking care of each other and start saluting each other and supporting each other and putting our money, our bitcoins where our mouth is, and feeding the current, because this is about currency. So it's energy. So if I'm giving you energy, if I'm giving you life, you have to reciprocate it and give it back. That's how the cycle is complete. You feel me? So I got a bag coming to me the size of Texas. Facts. So all I'm saying is we give it out. We putting out creativity. We're showing you the intellectual, and this is what everything is showing you, especially with the Joe Budden thing. Joe Budden is saying, look, my intellectual property is who I am. The corporation or the platforms, they don't have anything if not for me. I'm the talent. But the talent brought the idea to the table. The talent, Joe Budden is showing you, I'm the talent. Without the talent, you don't exist. You're just an empty platform. So if you don't know your worth, you're at your job. You're the talent. You're the worth. You think just because it's a corporation that they're making their bottom line on their own? No, they're feeding off of you, and if you don't know your worth and what you're worth, your self-worth, then you always gonna get the short end of the stick. They got slavery for you niggas out here. Facts. They got this shit. They're lining it up. They're bringing back they're gonna bring Libya up in this bitch real soon. Okay? They're prepping World War with the UN and all of this stuff going on with this Jerusalem shit. Remember, I said it before, they have a duty and a responsibility to fulfill biblical prophecy on this planet. They don't give a fuck about nothing else. It's all about the fulfillment of that book. So people are sacrificing everything to make sure those signs that they look for in that book to tell them about the coming of their Christ or the beginning of their, whatever they wishing on, they're going to push that agenda. And that's what you see taking place. All of this stuff with the UN right now, all of these rumors of war, they're lining things up. They kicked the bed wench out the, they kicked Olivia Pope out the White House because now it's closed door time. They're plotting on something. They're preparing something. So all I'm saying is stay woke. Keep your eyes open. Don't fall for the okie doke. Stop being distracted. Stop focusing on everything but yourself and your people and how to basically secure a future for yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. That's not the new world that we're going into. We live in a different age right now. You got to stand on your own. You have to belong to a tribe. Your tribe has to protect and take care of each other. A niche market. That's what they call it in different circles. And you got to be able to build each other up with your resources. All you niggas is penny pinching, living in an individual world and living in scarcity, yet acting like you belong to abundance. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a very, very long road for you. Very long road. You know what I'm saying? Very long road. So I'm on the solstice. This is the new season. So when new seasons come, you reflect on what took place before that. And the shit that I look back on, I'm like, okay, I'm peeping it, you know what I mean? And I'm seeing what's going on, but I know the winter is here. Game of Thrones style, the winter is here, my niggas. And it's time to get, I'm not gonna keep talking. I'm gonna speak it into existence, but look, it's time to get that work done. It's time to put in that work and stop talking about it and stop thinking it and just stop, you know what I mean? Stop being thinkers and be doers. You feel what I'm saying? Add value to what is being brought to the table. Add value to what you're receiving. Add value to who you are. Add value to your movement. Add value to your words. My words are a bag. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? My words are the bag. I know that wherever I go, set myself up, I'ma just speak my mind. I'm mining my mind for bitcoins. Like my mind is a diamond mine. I know the jewels that I possess. I know my worth. You feel me? I know what I bring to the table. I know I am the table. You dig? So once you start seeing yourself like that, everything changes. They're programming our people to not see the worth in themselves. This community will not allow you to see the worth. They will not let you see the worth. They will not add value to you. It's all about taking, it has this community not become the place where they take away the value from you? That's the purpose, the underlying purpose of people's interaction is to remove value from each other, right? Because when you're on camera, mudslinging, breaking each other down, going all the way under the belt, going personal, dragging people through the mud, all of these things, spreading rumors, spreading viruses, being malcontent in your diatribe, besmirching people's character. You're fucking up their stocks. You're trying to tank their worth. You're trying to crash their stocks. You're trying to besmirch their value. You're trying to destroy their legacy. That's what this whole community has morphed into. That's what this shit represents right now. So they have these celebrations when they see people on the motherfucking cross. You dig what I'm saying? This niggas out here rooting against Dr.Umar and what he might be going through. So that's what you're not seeing. You're not witnessing a situation where when you link up with one of your brothers, or when you get on stage, or when you share a platform, people are adding worth to each other and raising their stocks. You don't see that because that's not the kind of environment that we're in. You got to know your worth. You got to add value to your worth. Don't step on your headphones. You got to add value to your worth. You have to cash in on your worth. Don't just know that shit. Sell some of those stocks. Sell some of those coins, those Bitcoins. You know what I mean? Trade it in for some resources or some property or some equity and all of these other things. Be owners. So look, I own my stuff. I own this company, blood, sweat, and tears. 10 plus years in these streets. The really streetwear, for real, every day, coming out, killing to eat. I got to stand behind my table and shoot bows and arrows to kill, you know what I mean? To get a sale or two.
Hanging with success, cremated with a smile. You dig?
Yes, indeed. So, you know what I mean? Being self-made against all odds. Has any, you know what I mean? And just being resilient in what it is that you do. Building up your worth. Getting on these stages, getting on these platforms, spitting gems, spitting jewels, jewelry, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Ice Trader gang. I should have glaciers in my teeth. That's how many jewels we out here spitting, adding value to this experience, being connoisseurs in this movement, being pillars in this movement. Peace, King. You know what I mean? Holding up the motherfucking, holding the bar up. You understand what I'm saying? Being twin pillars, standing on our square. That's what we contributed. Sinetta called me the other day, try to figure out a category to fit us in for the awards. I'm like, God damn it. Pillars of consciousness. You know what I mean? Don't minimize my contribution. Don't minimize what I mean to this thing. Don't minimize that me and my brother and my whole family has had before this community even had a name. Before it was identified as conscious community. What part do you play in even bringing forward what is known as conscious community? I got receipts. You feel me? I got a story to tell. So I'm like, I don't know. Give me a Lifetime Achievement Award. And I'm not being cocky, I'm just being honest. Run the motherfucking record, run the background check, run my credit. You know what I mean? So if you don't know your worth and you don't know what you mean to this whole thing and you don't know what you add to the conversation, you know what I mean? Then you're gonna get treated like that. As you can see with our people. Look at them. You know what I'm saying? They're not throwing, you thought they was throwing peanuts at our people before. Look at the world post this tax bill. You thought they was throwing peanuts to us before and they was trying to move you out of the motherfucking place of where you had to eat off the table? Look at the world after the tax cut. You think that the Europeans are they're running through your village. They all in your kingdom checking you out. You think they was running through Harlem buying up everything before? Look at what's gonna happen after the tax bill. And Negroes have not, look, they don't even know what happened today. Nobody's, because they're not making no fuss about it. People are just going on their day. But I said, mark on your calendar the day that everything changed, and then look at the reaction of how the people didn't even know what the fuck happened to them. You know what I'm saying? They don't even care. You know, our people are adaptive. They adapt to whatever climate they're put in. They adapt to whatever situation they find themselves in. They adapt. We're adaptable. We came from a state of poverty back. A lot of people lived in sheer poverty. They had to adapt to that. Now they live in a place of abundance. And if they go back to that, they will adapt to that. But what I'm saying is, it's time as a people to come together and do things and stop talking about things and build things and create things. Where's your intellectual property? Why are you not creating anything? What happened to all of the inventions? How were people inventing things in the 1800s and niggas having it? They ain't even inventing no iPhone cases, no snazzy iPhone cases. They're not inventing nothing. What are they inventing? A line at Foot Lockers? They're not inventing anymore. They're not creating. People are only worker bees. They're only worker bees. They're the battery that the Matrix is feeding off of by feeding them emotions, by feeding them their intellectual property. We feed them the culture and they get rich off of it. There's no black billionaires in hip hop. That should tell you that the system is completely rigged. It is a pimp hole situation. There's not one billionaire. And if you say Dr. Dre, he made money off of headphones and technology. Okay? There's not one Billy in this whole thing. So people's conversation, or because all they've been talking about is selling crack in the bando and trapping and all of this lower level nigga shit. This is poverty mind consciousness. So you've been getting poverty minded culture, which translates to the deaf culture, which translates to the shit that you're seeing where this is the Walking Dead and fear of the Walking Dead. Remember, they programmed you with Walking Dead and they showed the zombies, the same niggas that's leaning on the dope, the opium epidemic, the homeless people, the bums, niggas who are talking to themselves and looking all crazy in the face. And then they come out with fear of the Walking Dead. So they're telling their people, fear that. And what do they do in the show? They give them headshots. They give them headshots. The anti-nigga regime, the anti-nigga machine is in full swing. Watch your neck. You understand? And I'm not standing with I ain't standing with no knuckle draggers like that. Watch your neck. Because they definitely coming for your head. Pause. You know what I mean? These next 3 years in this Trump administration, you better get your boogie board. You better learn how to navigate. More people are going to conform and fold and bend and just be tools of the machine, Matrix-like, and then other people are not. But the time is too long. I mean, we've been doing this too long. Where is the added value? Where is the return on investment? Where is the bag and the coin? Where's the resources? Where's the building taking place? Where's the communal effort? Where's the network effort? Where's the social capital? Where is it at? You feel me? Where is it at? So if you don't add value to what those around you are doing, if you don't add value to what you are doing, if you don't add value to the culture that you create, you don't sit around and wait for nobody from another culture or another race feed you the hip hop. You sit around and wait for us to do that. So if we the creators, if we the ones that are feeding the culture, if we're the culture, why we don't got no bags? Why thousands of us are not employed by the culture, getting rich, getting wealthy, getting resources, healing our community by utilizing the culture? It's a bunch of people that don't look like us. Go to any label right now. Nobody in the label looks like you. Nobody that's running the machine looks anything like you. So that's a trade-off that hasn't worked in your favor. Has Sony built anything in the hood? Has Columbia built anything in the hood? Has Universal, Disney built anything? No. So all of these companies that you work for, they're bankrolled your people, giving you a message on how to destroy you. The 100 steps to being a fucking knuckle dragger, the 100 steps to being a zombie, the 100 steps to being an actual nigger with an ER. They bankrolled that. They bankrolled how to be a devolved human being. Even though in our devolution state, we still shining. But they did not tell you how to be a revolutionary or evolutionary. They did not tell you how to invest in cryptocurrency. They did not tell you how to be an entrepreneur for real. Not where they're bankrolling somebody to tell drugs and you got to figure it out because you want to sell lemonade and ties and stuff like that online. So you got to listen to Jay-Z talk about sell bricks and then attribute ties to that. No, they're just not giving you the outright medicine. They're bankrolling a destructive image, as you can see, because the nigga stock has crashed. It's fallen. It doesn't have, it's not in a market where it's appreciated. You gotta go from nigga to naga to nagoose at this stage. You know what I mean? You have to evolve. So this is about the changing of season. You gotta change up as well. This is hibernation time. Fall back and let's build this machine and get in the race and make some things happen. Talk time is over. You feel me? Talk time is over. The game is to be sold. Know your worth. Know what your intellect and what your conversation is worth. Like I said, this is my conversation is a bag. You know what I mean? But if you don't have nothing to talk about, they're making people who don't have anything to talk about. They're adding more value to that conversation and to that narrative than they're adding to the conversation of people who actually are raising the value of the intellectual worth or the intellectual gross domestic product in our own people's minds. Facts. So lighten up your heart. Start working on showing love to each other. Start working on exhibiting a lot more love. Start working on You know what I'm saying? Loving yourself, loving your own people. You cannot love outside of your own people until you love first. It doesn't work the other way around. You can't love, cats can't love dogs, you know what I'm saying, before they love other cats. So yeah, we loving everything else but us. So, and I'm not just talking about our the black girl magic and melanin that's popping and whatnot. Superficial kind of loves. Hashtag love. I ain't really just talking about that. I'm talking about real love. Mary J shit. Mary J Blige, nigga. Real love. You know what I mean? Face to face. People embracing each other. People giving you your roses while you're here and alive. Things like that. People taking care of what it is, playing their part, getting on the floor and taking care of their part of the game. Running the ball so you could dunk it. They got people running the ball, dunking it, stealing it, playing the center, the shooting guard. You not just Kobe, you Shaq. They got niggas playing multiple positions. Where's the teamwork? Why are people not playing as a team? Who's running the ball? Who's passing the ball? There's no teamwork in black America. Everybody's an individual right now. Everybody's playing for self. Everybody's trying to be the man. Everybody wants to just be on by it. They're not worrying about playing as a team. And the people that's washing you up, they playing as a team. How you gonna beat them if you don't even play as a team? You got Italians working with Irish, working with motherfucking Jews, working with Germans, working with Spaniards, working with Russia. They all working against you. Working with the China, the Arab, they all working against you. They not working in your benefit. If you think they working in your benefit, you a fucking goofy. They not doing nothing for you. What the Arab store doing for you? Besides selling you poison. All of the Arab stores around my way, they don't even sell turkey bacon. It's all pork. You know what I mean? What are they doing for you? Are they going over to Libya and stopping their brothers from putting our brothers in slavery? No. These are Muslims. So what's being done? What are your allies really doing for you besides buying your fucking mumble rap or trying to dance like you or trading sneakers with you? What else are they doing? You know what I mean? What do you demand of cultural exchange? If everybody's eating off of your culture, I could go to Japan right now. There's Japanese people who are millionaires and billionaires off of hip hop. I could go to Australia right now. There's Australian graffiti artists getting paid millions of dollars. There's Australian DJs making millions of dollars off your culture. They got Australian rappers, they dressing like you. They making millions of dollars off their clothing brands. What are they giving you back? Where's the cultural exchange? You don't get none of that. You're not even charging a tax for people for using your culture. You're not even adding on a tax. Every time your culture is used, there's a bank account. Why is the pioneers of the culture, $1 trillion culture, broke? Why they gotta work as parking attendants? The culture is broken. It's a pimp culture. It's being taken over. You niggas can't really hold your head high because we don't have a control. That's what I was going back to, about control. Being a boss of your own thing. Being a boss of your culture. Being a boss of your community. Being a boss of your destiny. If nobody in the community starts working on adding value, the Jews are going to take this too. They already got the commercial niggas lined up. Commercial consciousness is already lined up. Right? Woke. They already got, they got rid of traditional new media, right? They got rid of Roland. They got rid of Tavis. They got rid of, who else? Whatever black. They taking certain people's YouTube channels. So the net neutrality and all of that, they're stifling independent media. They're stifling people who are giving you the truth. They're only going to feed you fake news, psyops, and media. All of the conglomerates are one. So there's no such thing as left wing versus right thing. There's no such thing as Democrat versus Republican, liberal versus a neoconservative. They all work together. It's cohesiveness. They're playing antagonist, protagonist with the monkey in the middle. It's a Hegelian dialect, my nigga. It's chess. And I'm not talking about Son from Battle Rap either. It's chess. So they playing you. There is no two-sided. It's a two-sided vulture, two-winged vulture. It's still the same bird. So get you bird-ass niggas, get away from us trying to confuse us and bring us into this matrix where this shit is not real. Focus on you. Focus on governing your mental. You the real government. Govern your mental. Govern your people. Put together your tribe. It's not going to be everybody, as you can see. These niggas, it's too late to wake up at this point for some people. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I don't know what to do. But for the ones that awaken, it's so many of them, we got work to do. All of you entertainers drinking from this well, knowing y'all riding the wave and we providing the wave, yo, make the call. Make the call. We got to sit down and have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with geniuses in the community. You're dealing with geniuses of your race. You're dealing with people who are geniuses in this culture, pioneers, builders, architects. Have some considerate respect and make the call. Because things have to be done in a concerted effort. Everything ain't for the camera. Everything ain't for Twitter. Everything ain't for Instagram Live. You know what I mean? You don't got to talk about everything that you're doing, but moves got to get made. I'm listening to their conversation. They're mimicking the conversation, B. You understand what I'm saying? They jacking the slang. Three cuts in the eyebrows. They jacking the slang. So all I'm saying is, everybody talk black excellence, black girl magic, and all of these things. Stay woke, and you know what I'm saying? All of that cute shit, that hashtag love, not that real love. You talking all of that, you trying to ride like that, but you not making no moves. Ownership. Level up. Get into quantum computing. Get into technology. You know what I'm saying? Get into coding. Get into all of these things that are going to propel you. Get into crypto. Get into the blockchain. Start upgrading your shit, because this is the jump. You're not going to make it into 2020 being goofy like this. Allowing yourself to get played. They're creating news cycles and news stories to weigh your heart down, to put you in a perpetual state. The mortality rate is rising up. People are dying from stress related. Everywhere where it's being gentrified, the death rate is rising up from stress related death. Niggas are stressed out. They're dying from heart disease, cancer, right? Cancer. You know, you saw What's the Health. They're telling you that you're being poisoned, slow cooking you, not allowing you to deal with your core issues, not allowing you to deal with your edification of your spirit, not allowing you to mature, right? So you're just devolving. When you get this consciousness, though, everything changes. So going back to what I've been saying, you gotta add value to that. There's people watching you. You saw the reports. There's something out there. The watchers are watching niggas. And they're like, well, God damn it. They keep doing it. We keep sending them messengers, prophets. We keep sending them black messiahs. And look what they do to them. They crucify them. They only want to see them on a cross. You understand? It's repetitive. It always has been happening. This is not personal. This is just breaking a cycle. Saying, look, we ain't gonna keep having the fucking constant loop, because every time I look at our leaders, every time I look at you know what I mean? They supposed to be set for life, to do anything that their mind desires, to create anything that they can think of collectively. They supposed to have the resources, and and I'm not talking about fiat, or I'm talking about resources and access. Everybody got a key to a door. Start opening them. You know what I mean? Remember Nita Simone special where she was like, yo, Malcolm X lived right next door to me. And when I started listening to him, he made me change my whole thing up. I became woke. You understand? And the conscious people back then started the movement in the arts, what became like a renaissance, where Marvin Gaye became conscious, where Nina Simone became conscious, where Stevie Wonder became conscious, where all of these people began to wake up and speak to the culture about the black man struggle, the everyday struggle. But they were talking about striving. They were bringing love into the game. They were talking about being able to get past this test, get past the ebb and flow of a cycle that will always occur. You think this shit is new? This has happened before or many different times. That's why I know what the fuck this is. This is the ebb and flow of life. It is a pendulum swinging. It's the motherfucking procession of the equinox. It's the pressure that makes the diamond. So navigate through this shit. Silver Surfer through the matrix. Be able to move through this thing. And stop complaining. Boss the fuck up. Own something. And if you know what I mean? And for anybody that's in the way, get them out of the way. We got work to do, and work is being done. but ingredients are missing. There's ingredients that are missing to make this thing really do what it do. My Patreon, Red Pill, Patreon / Red Pillar, PILLAR, because it's real like that. It's time to start becoming philanthropists. They got the Koch brothers working behind them. They got Richard Spencer, billionaires behind them on the other side, working their agenda and trying to make life harder for people who have a perception of the world that they see around them. They don't have the kind of deep mind state that you got. They don't have the set of eyes and the third eye awakened like you have. They only are reactionary. They're inside of the slaughterhouse. They're only reactionary to what's taking place inside of the zoo. They're being programmed. They are the programmed. Affectionately called the Walking Dead or the zombies or things like that. So you're wide awake in this matrix. You're Neo in the matrix. You got work to do. I ain't gonna talk you to death. I said enough. You dig what I'm saying? And if there's any more questions, I'll answer. But yeah.
I think he was very clear and definitive, brother Brad.
Okay.
Until next time, brother.
Indeed. All right. Peace.